What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got some very cool One Piece promos we need to have a look at. A couple of promo cards have been revealed. Now, once again, these are coming in things that you read. So, I've told you before and I'll tell you again, if you're a fan of the One Piece trading card game or One Piece generally, it's a lot of effort to learn to read Japanese, but might I suggest it's kind of worth it. I am currently learning to read Japanese. It is very difficult. I can read One Piece cards now. I do all the translations myself, and that makes me very happy. But yeah, it's not actually an easy thing to do, but there are a lot of benefits to doing so. And what we've got straight away here is a Sanji promo, which is coming out in the new issue of Saikyo Jump. Saikyo Jump is a magazine. If you are a fan of the One Piece trading card game, Saikyo Jump is a magazine that's been very, very good to us over the years. So, for instance, we recently had the magazine where you got yourself the Chopper Don, but it also gave those mail-away promos for Chopper, Nami, and Buggy. So that was a very cool magazine that came out not that long ago. They did do mail-away, remember, for those ones. Those were mail-away promos, very important, because they're much harder to get. Luckily, I have a friend in Japan who I think has done this for me, so I can get the mail-away promos, which is awesome. But then we had a magazine the month before, which got us a different Chopper Don, and the Kobe promo, which was cool. Crocodile, a while ago, was a Saikyo Jump promo, the Cross Guild Crocodile. Boa Hancock was a Saikyo Jump promo as well. I'm not going to... Oh, that came with a Garp Don, and we're done now. All right? We're not going to keep doing this. There have been a lot, and I mean a lot, of different Saikyo Jump promos over the year. It means strongest jump over in Japan. So yeah, we've got another one here. It is a Sanji, and once again, and this does tend to happen a bit too much, this might be a pretty playable card. I talked about the Bello Betty deck the other day. Well, that Sabo was a mail-away, admittedly, but that Sabo mail-away promo is still a staple in a lot of... Well, it gets sees played in a lot of Bello Betty decks, put it that way. I don't think it has to be played, but it does see a lot of play in those Bello Betty decks, and that was a mail-away Saikyo Jump promo, so, you know, just putting that out there. What does this new Sanji do? Well, we got 4 cost 4k counter plus 2,000, and when your opponent attacks, once per turn, you may trash an event card from your hand, and it does specifically has to be an event card, although any kind of event, any color, etc. will be fine. And then your leader or character for this battle gains 2,000 power. So basically, it turns any event in your hand into a pseudo 2,000 power counter. Well, we all know 2k counter is good. Turning any event into a 2k counter when it could otherwise be unplayable is obviously brilliant, but this just goes into Sanji. Like, we know how this works at this point. When we get these magazine promos, generally speaking, it's not a hard and fast rule, but it does work more often than not. We have these promos, and what they do is they match up specifically and obviously with a leader from the current set or the upcoming set. We are just about to see the release of OP12 over in Japan, so we get this Saikyo Jump promo, which is very blatantly for Sanji from OP12. Sanji, I should mention, has an activate main once per turn, Don -1, play an event card of an original cost of 3 or less from your hand, so it's Don -1 to play a free cost event. We've then got, when attacking, if you've got the same number of Don on your field as your opponent or less, you get to add a Don card from your Don deck rested. It's a very, very cool leader. I'm not 100% convinced it's the best leader in the set. We'll have to figure that one out later. But for the time being, I do think there is a lot of potential here with Sanji. Well, this is an event card. One of the things with Sanji is you're going to be playing a bunch of event cards in your deck so that you can take advantage of this leader skill. Well, if you've got a lot of event cards in your deck, then you're going to be able to trash them from your hand using this promo Sanji a little bit more easily, And that's going to open up a lot more counter, which is going to be fun. Not to mention, of course, it is just a purple Straw Hat. So essentially it ends up being a searchable 2k counter, which can turn all of your events into 2k counters. And yeah, this is a very, very nice card. One of the annoying things I will say, now I'm a fan of magazine promos. I made that incredibly clear. Mostly because it gives me an excuse to import Japanese magazines, which I like doing. Practice a bit of reading, it's lovely. The thing is, when they end up being good, we end up in a weird situation where, like, you know, the buggy, which has now been confirmed to be in Starter Deck 25 after being a pre-release promo, there was a decent period of time where you kind of needed that if you were going to play a buggy deck, but it was available in Japan as a magazine promo. It wasn't available over here. There was a period of time where we couldn't really play buggy properly because we didn't have that card. That's a problem. Bello Betty right now, we can't play that Sabo because we don't have it in the West. I don't really like the idea of having this potentially playable Sanji card, which Japan have got access to and we don't, so we can't play Sanji properly. That's actually kind of annoying. Boo! Also worth noting, we've got the Reiju in this particular set in OP12, and Reiju says that if you've got 4 or more events in your trash, this gets plus 2k and plus 5 cost. Plus 5 cost in play, not to play. So essentially on the board it's a 9 cost, very hard to remove, 7k, and then it's always a blocker. So you need 4 or more event cards in your trash in order to activate Reiju. Well, this is a card which is going to make it a lot easier to get extra event cards into your trash. So that's going to help with Reiju, and Reiju looks like a great card as well. Again, I cannot tell you this Sanji is going to be amazing, but I'm telling you it's got a chance. And I'm just looking at this and I'm going, look, it lets me counter more easily, it gets event cards in my trash, and it's a searchable 2k, assuming I'm playing a Straw Hat Searcher. Yeah. Love it. Oh, also, the 1-cost Charlotte Pudding from the set. On play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, find a Sanji or an event card and add it to your hand. So there we go, there's a way to search it as well. I like this card. I think it could be very good. But it's not the only fun promo that's being released in Something You Read. Because we've also got a special edition of the One Piece magazine, One Piece Fan Letter, which is coming out on Wednesday, June the 4th. And here's what the cover looks like. It's kind of lovely, but and look, there's a whole bunch of different stuff in the magazine that looks really, 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 really fun. However, for most of you guys, let's face it, you want this magazine for the promo. Now, the promo is that the character is Shoujo, which literally just means girl. And I know she looks like Nami. It's not Nami. Now, I must admit, I've not seen One Piece Fan Letter. So One Piece Fan Letter, according to One Piece fandom, it's a loose adaptation of One Piece novel Straw Hat Stories, released to commemorate the One Piece anime's 25th anniversary. And then, you know, there is a young girl there who sees the Straw Hat Pirates, and she becomes enamored with Nami, and that's why she ends up looking a bit like Nami, dressing like her, etc. It's not Nami, but that's why we've got this coming in here. So this is the first time this character has appeared in the One Piece TCG. Look, and now we've only got a scan of the card, right? We can't see it in person, but it certainly looks to have a wonderful texture here. It looks absolutely stunning. And then, you know, this magazine is basically a way of just kind of celebrating this animated short. It's awesome. So I'm going to be picking this up. And this is not the first time we've had One Piece magazine having a bit of a promo. It's happened exactly once before. Can anyone remember which one it was? It was actually a particularly cool copy or cool edition of the One Piece magazine. It was a special magazine which just showed you One Piece goods, One Piece merch from over the years. Very cool magazine, highly recommended. But more importantly for us, came with an Ace promo, and it was awesome, and everybody kind of loved it. As a fun little side note, over on Amazon Japan, every edition of the One Piece magazine, there's only 19 of them, it's very easy to pick up, except for this one, which has completely sold out. There's not even any available for sale on the secondary market. This copy of the magazine is completely sold out, which I don't think is a particular coincidence because of the Ace promo. So what does this girl promo actually do? Well, we got 2 cost, 0 power, counter plus 1,000, and on play, draw a card, trash a card from your hand, and activate main once per turn. Give a rested Don to your Nami. Okay, I kind of love this. And the cool thing here is, like, this is very much a Nami card. This is, and again, because of the way One Piece fan letter works, it should be a Nami support card. I just told you that it's a girl essentially who in the special becomes enamored with Nami. But, you know, if you go back to OPO3 Nami, for instance, which is still a very good playable deck, well, that wants to deck itself out. The whole point is you want to deck yourself out. So drawing a card and trashing a card from your hand, that's running through your deck a little bit faster. Plus, you get to give a rested Don to your leader, and Nami's got a Don X1. When this leader's attack deals damage to your opponent's life, you may trash a card from the top of your deck. So actually, this works really nicely with Nami. It's kind of awesome. Now, there is another Nami leader, of course, and that is one from OP11, which is part blue. So this can be used with that Nami. On your turn, once per turn, when a card has a move from your opponent's life, if you've got 7 or fewer cards in hand, draw one. And Don X1, on your opponent's attack, once per turn, trash a card from your hand to give this leader a 2k bump. Well, yeah, this wants a Don. Both the Nami leaders want a Don. This will give the Don and has a little bit of draw power, at least cycling coming in as well. I really kind of like this card. And I really, really like the fact that, again, the card designers have gone, all right, what should this card be doing? Well, it really should be supporting Nami, so let's make sure we give it a way to support Nami, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. I've already actually pre-ordered this magazine. It's up on Amazon Japan, so that's pretty easy. I'll try and remember to drop a link in the description where you can go and pre-order this. And frankly, I love this. I love that we keep getting these random magazine promos over in Japan. It makes me very happy, but I've told you all about it, so now it's over to you guys. What do you think about the Sanji promo? Do you think it's going to make OP12 Sanji better? What do you think about the girl promo? Do you think it's going to help Nami enough? Let me know in the comment section. Get us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at Lawasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.